The wait is finally over. Time for Grizz Cats or Cats Grizz. No matter how you phrase it, for those of us from Montana, it's the biggest game of the year. Since 1897, this rivalry transcends sports. It not only divides the state, but those who call it home. And let's not mince words. This isn't just a game. It's about pride, history, and bragging rights. And it's for this, the Continental Divide Trophy, the most coveted prize in the Treasure State. Whether you're silver or gold, now's the time to back it up. Two teams with equal claim to state supremacy. But after today, there can only be one. Montana, Montana State. Get ready. It's the 115th Brawl of the Wild.
Big Sky Football on Root Sports is presented by your local Ford store.
Single-digit temps greeted the early arrivals at Bobcat Stadium this morning. The students have braved the elements to secure the best seats in the house. The tailgaters have come from all corners of the Treasure State for the biggest sporting event of the year in Montana, the Brawl of the Wild. It's the Montana Grizzlies and the Montana State Bobcats from Bozeman. Just a sample of the excitement. Great to have you with us, everyone, along with Jason Stiles. I'm Tom Glasgow. 115th edition of this terrific rivalry, always intense. And Jason, once again, a lot on the line.
A lot on the line, and this cannot be a better day for football in a game that Montana's got to win to keep playing, and Montana State on their home turf would love nothing more than to bring Montana home with them for the season.
Well, on this final day of regular season play in the Big Sky Conference, it is wide open as you take a look at the standings, with one slight exception, and that's Southern Utah. If they win at home today against NAU, they will win the conference title and the automatic bid into the FCS playoffs. Beyond that, it gets very interesting. Let's talk about Montana and how things could work for them if everything breaks right.
Well, believe it or not, they have a chance to win the title outright today. They've got to take care of business here at Bobcat Stadium. They've got to get a little help. NAU, that high-powered offense, goes on the road in Cedar City. They've got to solve that Southern Utah defense. And then Eastern Washington, they got to get up off the turf after last week's performance and figure out a way to beat a very, very good Portland State team. If all that happens, the Montana Grizzlies are your Big Sky champions.
That's all it's going to take for the Grizzlies to get it done today. And a guy who'd really like to mess up that plan, an outstanding quarterback, one of the best in college football, Dakota Prukop of Montana State.
Well, he's special, and more so than any player in the country that I've seen. Dakota Prukop literally is the offense for the Bobcats. Not that he doesn't share the football, not that other guys don't get touches, but Montana State will go as Dakota Prukop goes. He can make plays with his arm. He has a lot of good targets down the field, but his ability to keep plays alive, make things happen outside of the pocket, gives defensive coordinators nightmares. And if you're a defensive player, especially today against for Montana, you've got to find a way to play until the whistle, because there's always a chance Dakota Prukop could make something special happen.
Well, before every snap offensively for Montana State, Dakota's going to take a moment, and he's going to look around, and he's going to find out where number 91 is. Tyrone Holmes, the top sack man in FCS football.
Well, and he's waited his turn, sitting behind some very special players, and Zach Wagaman in years past, but this year has been his. He's been fantastic to line him up all over the place. He'll have a plan with every pass rush. He likes to speed rush you, then he'll come up inside, and then he'll bust through two guys to get to the quarterback. He's an absolute animal, and he's playing with a fire and a determination that really is unrivaled in his career.
Montana with an exceptional performance last week in a blowout victory against Eastern Washington. Their offense really clicking, maybe the best it's been all season, and no coincidence, they got their starting quarterback back last week. For more on Brady Gustafson, we send it to the Forward Sports Desk, Angie Mentink and Taylor Barton.
Tom, thanks so much. Montana's offense, yes, they gained more than 460 yards last week in their win over Eastern Washington. And the reason for the breakout, the return of their quarterback, as Tom alluded to, Brady Gustafson, to the starting lineup. Taylor, in your mind, what stood out in his performance?
Well, he's just so comfortable. He brings a resolve to this offense, and he's throwing the deep ball so well. Watch. He sees a matchup up top, one-on-one. But with the safety in a too-high shell, it's not good for a streaker post. But at play action, the safety comes to the middle. He knows he's got man-to-man outside, and then look at him deliver a strike over the receiver's outside shoulder. DB's so frustrated, he's talking to himself, trying to cheer himself back up. Now, again, he sees DB is man-to-man, but you still have a too-high safety. But they go play action, and it brings that safety down. And again, he's got man-to-man. But now watch, he's got a D lineman running right at him. Most quarterbacks would throw off their back foot. He stands tall in the pocket, delivers a strike 50-plus yards where only his receiver can catch it. Now, with their quarterbacks earlier in the season, they either were missing these reads or they just were not able to deliver the deep ball on target. With him back in the lineup, that's a threat they have. They establish the run game. It opens up the deep play action pass. When they are on point like that, this is a tough offense to stop.
Yeah, Gustafson finished last week with 266 yards passing. As a kid from Billings, you know that this game carries special meaning for him. The Cats will definitely have their hands full with Gustafson and company on the Grizz offense, but J.R. Nelson has proved to be a playmaker in Montana's secondary as well, notching 2 pick sixes in the last 2 games, taking it to the house against Idaho State and Eastern Washington. Who will take home the Great Divide Trophy? The Brawl of the Wild is here on Root Sports, and it starts next.
For a defense this season that has had some real issues, that's a very encouraging start. Chris Leiter on to punt, averaging 40 yards per boot this season. Mitch Greibel back deep to receive for Montana State, standing at his own 26-yard line. Leiter gets it away. And takes a nice Grizzlies roll inside the 15-yard line. And the first offensive possession coming up for the Bobcats of Montana State, led by their outstanding junior quarterback out of Austin, Texas, Dakota Prukop. 25 touchdowns through the air, 10 on the ground. Jason, the definition of a dual threat quarterback.
Yeah, you're going to find his picture in the dictionary when you look up that term. He is a guy that is just continues to amaze week in and week out. He's going to have a big effort today.
From the 12-yard line, first down and 10, a punt covering 57 yards. Prukop will razzle-dazzle here as this is Jay-Sean Gates with some room, and blockers ahead of him, fumbling the football, recovered by Montana State out near the 37-yard line. Looked like John Weidenauer, the left tackle, got on top of that football.
See the zone read fake. Everybody's got eyes on Prukop, and Jay-Sean Gates, great tempo to that play. The mesh is right there, and John Weidenauer in his 49th consecutive start sets a school record. Is Johnny on the spot that time, falling on the fumble.
In on that play of 25 yards. Gates in motion, and he has the football again. Trying to get around the edge. Terrific pursuit by Herbert Gamboa. 6'1", 215 senior out of San Clemente, California. This is Alex Ecoff, a senior, dealing with a really bad ankle. Wanted to get in at least 1 or 2 plays today before he left the game. He got 1 in and made his way to the sideline. So nice that he at least had that opportunity to get out on the field in his final collegiate game. Second down and 6. Movement. Bo Samlin, 85, the tight end, and a good one for Montana State.
85 of the offense. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Let's take a look at our BNSF Railway players to watch today on offense for Montana State. Bo Samlin, a touchdown each of the last 4 games of that tight end position, has really shown up of late. John Weidenauer, we talked about the 49th consecutive start. He will have his hands full against Tyrone Holmes today. And on the back end, J.R. Nelson a big factor in the secondary for Montana the past few weeks with interceptions, getting those turnovers. He will play a big factor as well as they little zone read. Prukop keeps the football, and nice job by Mitch Greibel getting out in front on the lead block.
Dakota Prukop averaging 5.4 yards per carry. He is the leading rusher for Montana State as he faces a 3rd down and 3. Prukop, Bo Sandlin, the tight end, with the first down as Mitchell Herbert tried to add a little more room for him, blocking out in front. But the chains will move, and a fresh set of downs coming up. Herbert Gamboa with the stop for the Grizzlies.
One of these rivalry games is always a little bit of pushing and shoving and jawing. A lot of stake here today. Bo Sandlin getting a little pushing match after that. You saw the referee was reaching for his flag, didn't end up throwing it, but talked Bo Sandlin already, a big factor in this offense. Nice and good size, 6'5" tight end.
9-yard gain into Montana territory at the 46. Prukop over the middle, wide open, Bo Sandlin, and it's a race to the end zone, and Bo Sandlin for the score.
Well, busted coverage here. Bo Sandlin runs right down the middle with nobody in the area. Jeremiah Kosei chasing the football, but too little, too late. Good recognition by Dakota Prukop. Easy pass and catch, and the Bobcats out to an early lead.
46-yard scoring play for Bo Sandlin, his 8th touchdown catch this season, a transfer from the University of Miami, a 5-play drive, 88 yards, 2 minutes and 3 seconds. That's what this Bobcat offense is very capable of doing on a regular basis.
It's his 5th touchdown in as many games, so he hit his core early in this one.
Luke Daly with the extra point, and Dakota Prukop with that touchdown pass, now accounting for 36 touchdowns this season, and that sets a new Montana State single-season record as he moves past Kelly Bradley. Montana State strikes first in the brawl. Trevor Bolton on, and Ellis Henderson back around, ball bobbled, and Bolton goes down around the 15-yard line. So Montana State showing some self-destruction here in this first quarter. The last possession was the interception by Prukop, and now this.
Yeah, perfect snap. Bolton just never got control of that football. Special teams, the 3rd phase of the game, plays so big, and now just like that, their last possession they started well inside Montana State territory. This one even further at the 17 to 18-yard line.
So up by 3, Montana will look to add on. Some confusion, I think, defensively for Montana State. Gustafson going short to Jones, and a loss on the play, and Trace Timmer with a terrific job right there.
Gustafson's pass complete to Jamal Jones.
Trace Timmer last week a career high 13 tackles at Idaho State. As we'll see what this Montana defense has done this season.
Defensive staff sitting in that back row. You get a look at Leggy Suianoa, salt and pepper hair there, and defensive line coach.
Gustafson, blitz coming, picked up nicely, has his man. Again, it's Jones. A little bit shy of a first down. Kahari Garcia starting free safety with the coverage.
Brings up 3rd down.
This would be a win if Montana State can somehow get off the field and force a field goal try.
9-yard gain on the pass play. Calhoun with room. Calhoun, touchdown, Montana.
Jeremy Calhoun with the run.
Jeremy Calhoun, his 7th touchdown this season, 4th over the last 2 weeks as he goes 11 yards.
Double team right at the point of attack, and you saw a great cut block on the linebacker. Untouched, Calhoun goes into the end zone, and just like that, turnover on downs and an interception, and Montana State puts 2 touchdowns on the board. Excuse me, Montana, 2 touchdowns on the board.
Sullivan's extra point. And it's 17-7. Montana in front after the early 7-0 deficit. 17 unanswered points as we send it to the Ford Sports Desk and Angie Menting.
Tom, thanks. We have lots of happy Montana fans, but first, Big Sky fans, prepare to watch your teams face off with the Fighting Hawks in the future. It is the new nickname for the teams at the University of North Dakota. School officials unveiled the moniker earlier this week. Now the school must develop a logo, though it will immediately start using Fighting Hawks to describe their teams. As promised, some very happy Montana fans. Here is a look at where many of them are watching today's game. Show us your photo by sharing with them or sharing them using the hashtag #WhereIRoot on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, and you can be featured on our air. All right, these are all the happy Montana fans. Tom, I'll come back later with some very happy Montana State fans, although they're probably not as happy right now down 10.
I think that is a valid point, Angie. 2 turnovers today, Jason, for Montana State. So on the season, that turnover margin, they're -3, one of the problems they've had this season.
Yeah, they haven't been able to force them as much as they'd like, and really, especially in the last few games, they've turned the ball over at a much higher clip than what they're used to.
Gunnar Brecky, about 4 yards deep, comes out and takes a real shot just shy of the 20-yard line. Brecky, the backup running back to Chad Newell.
Gunnar Brecky tries to hurdle somebody at the last second here, and he takes a thump by Chris Parker. Yeah. Well, we talked about the turnover-prone Montana State Bobcats. If you include the 4 turnover on downs last week that they had against Eastern, Montana forced 10 turnovers in one game last week. 6 the conventional way, then 4 on turnover on downs.
Gates, not a lot there. Got swallowed up by Justin Whitted. You're out of Los Angeles.
I like to run that fly sweep. Both of these teams have that in their playbook. You got Jay-Sean Gates, a guy that can really get to the corner in a hurry. Definite threat and a decent 4-yard gain on first down.
Greibel with a first down, flag on the play in the secondary. And they're pointing at Montana State.
Pass interference. Number 3 of the offense. Penalty being forced. Half the distance to the goal. Second down.
Justin Page with the infraction. Costly penalty for the Bobcats.
He's trying to run a streak route, and boy, I don't know about that. The bolt collision by Nate Harris and Justin Page.
Yeah.
Tough to blame Page on that. With the receiver coming across the field, though, could have been viewed as a pick. Officials have just that split chance to see that and make a decision, and that one went against Montana State. I don't think the local fans here like it.
Just before the quarter ended, or they're saying the quarter is over.
Expired before the snap.
And at the end of the first 15 minutes, Montana will be taking some serious momentum into the second quarter. 17 unanswered points for the Grizzlies, and they're up by 10. Montana Grizzlies flying high in Bozeman as we get ready for the third quarter. Montana leading 37-14 as we send it back down to the field, and Jen Mueller.
Tom, the message that Bob Stitt delivered to his Montana seniors at halftime is this: you have 1 half remaining in the Cat Grizz game for the rest of your careers. It has got to last you the rest of your lives. Do not look for the Grizz to take their foot off the pedal in the second half. They do have the benefit of having played with a large lead last week. They know how to finish the game this week. As for Rob Ashe and Montana State, look for more balance on offense. You saw them use Newell to run the ball there at the end of the first half. They need to get back to mixing up that run pass to stay in the game. They'll get a chance to demonstrate that early time as they do get the ball to start the third quarter.
Jen, thanks so much. And they do need to take advantage of this first possession to try to reclaim a little momentum that they had early in this game, jumping out to a 7-0 lead. They certainly have an opportunity because of the offense that they have. They'll need their defense, I think, more than likely to step forward and create some turnovers in this second half as well. As you look at Chris Leiter getting ready to kick off. We get the third quarter underway here at Bobcat Stadium in Bozeman. Jayshon Gates. And Gates out across the 25, still on his feet, out to the 29-yard line. As we take a look at the numbers for the two quarterbacks as Dakota Prukop heads back out onto the field. 11-23, 182 yards, a touchdown and an interception. And that interception was turned right into a touchdown for Montana. For Brady Gustafson, 227 yards through the air, 3 touchdowns, no interception. A very good game for him in his second start since returning from injury. That's what they're playing for in this 115th edition of the Brawl of the Wild, the Great Divide Trophy. The inspiration for the trophy coming from just east of Butte, Montana at Homestake Pass. As you look in the background, there you see it. The inspiration for the design right there for the Great Divide Trophy, which takes a few players, usually linemen, to get that thing carried around after the Brawl of the Wild.
Well, having done a couple games in Missoula this year, you walk up the tunnel to the locker room and that trophy sits very prominent right outside of the locker room to remind Montana who won it in the last few years.
And barring a terrific comeback by Montana State, they'll spend a third season. Chad Newell with some room, still on his feet and out to midfield. So Newell covers 23 yards. Hendrick Van Ackeren with a stop.
Well, they've had success in the screen game a few times, taking advantage of that upfield pressure that Montana likes to bring. Another big one for the Bobcats there.
Prukop. Going deep, broken up by Eric Johnson. Bo Sandlin, the intended receiver. Go to Prukop today, 216 yards through the air. He's been contained really well on the ground by this Montana defense.
Yeah, and also in the secondary defending against the pass. He's under 50% on the day, and it's balls like that maybe are just a touch behind or a touch out in front that they've missed on. And still a full quarter left to play.
Second down and 10. Newell getting around the edge. And a 5-yard gain for Newell. Nate Harris got to him and brought him down.
Forced out of bounds by number 11, Nate Harris.
Full day's work for that guy, Chad Newell, which is usually the case. More than third down and 5 for Montana State. It's safe to say they are likely in 4-down territory. Bubble screen over to Greibel, first down. Eamon Sanders, I think, got his hand up high. No flag. Not get a hold of the face mask.
Brought down by number 11, Nate Harris.
That was actually Manu Rasmussen going up high on Mitch Greibel. 7-yard gain in the first down to the 38 of Montana, and flag.
And Joel Horn, the right guard.
He'll start. Number 70, the offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
And he's frustrated by that. He knows that penalties have really hurt his team. I think that's their 9th penalty of the game, matching that of the University of Montana. But I think if you look at the penalties themselves, Tom, the timing of the penalties and the type of penalties that Montana State have definitely hurt them more.
So a 1st and 15 now. here come the officials again.
You want to reset the play clock?
Prukop looking deep for Bo Sandlin. Throws it up for grabs, and Sandlin makes the catch inside the 15-yard line. That was just a battle of strength and wills with Eric Johnson, and Sandlin gets it done.
Well, one-on-one, Sandlin at 6'5", bigger than Ryan Johnson, and as soon as he gets that big body in front of him, it's tough to work through it. And a nice job of flattening out that throw by Dakota Prukop.
30-yard gain on the play. Newell. Not a lot of room there. Plugging that hole initially was Herbert Gamboa.
Gamboa, the big fumble recovery and return for a touchdown last week.
6'1", 215 senior out of San Clemente, California. Preseason honorable mention All-America. Is really talented starting linebacking core for Montana with Gamboa, Kose, and Van Akron. Prukop to the end zone, diving, was the catch made? It was! Touchdown, Brandon Brown. That is his third catch this season. Could not have come at a better time from 11 yards out.
Boy, and a lot of effort here as Dakota Prukop had to put it in a place where only Brandon Brown could get it, and he had to throw it before Brown really made his break that direction. Great effort, first touchdown of the season for Brandon Brown, and a key one in the Cat Grizz Classic.
Rebuild and take a look at everything, but there are some very nice pieces in place that will be served well by experience as Prukop avoids Tyrone Holmes, and Jamal Wilson still on his feet with 5 seconds left in this game. Dakota Prukop trying to end 2015 with a huge play, and the ball stripped away, and it's picked up by Montana, fumbled, and Montana getting it again. Well, a wild play to bring to an end the brawl of the Wild here in Bozeman, and Bob Stitt in his first year as Montana head coach gets his first brawl of the Wild as the Grizzlies take out the Bobcats 54-35. What are your thoughts on Montana now looking forward going into the postseason? Can they make the noise that they would like to make, and to do so, what do they need to do?
Well, I think defensively they're in a position to keep their football team in every game they play. I mean, when you've got a pass rusher like Tyrone Holmes, you've got guys like Kendrick Van Aken, that linebacking core. I think the one thing that would concern me would be their lack of size up front if they take somebody that is really a hard rushing team.
Send it down to the field. Jen Mueller with Montana head coach Bob Stitt,
who has his eye on the trophy, so we don't want to keep him very long. But Coach, given the ups and downs of the season and the change, what does this win mean to you?
It's huge. I'm so proud of our players and the way they played the last few weeks. You know, you put over 100 points on our two rivals. I mean, they've come together. We're a different football team now. We're playing championship football, and this win is for our Grizz Nation. This is for them, for making everything so special for us all year long.
What was the turning point in the second half? Because Montana State certainly tried to rally.
You know, we knew that they were going to make a run in the second half, and you get a little bit nervous there, but all you got to do is put together a drive, and once you put together a drive, put some points up there, you know, you're going to be fine.
And lastly, is this team coming together just the right time, given what this what the win likely means for you going forward?
Well, definitely. You know, we think we belong in the tournament, and we're healthy, and we got our quarterback back, and we're playing as well as anybody in the country. We belong in that tournament.
Yes, you do. We're going to let you go and hold that trophy. First brawl of the Wild for Coach Bob Stitt, guys.
All right, Jen, thanks a lot. And as we pointed out earlier, he can hold part of it as long as he's got some guys helping him out. As you take a look at a very happy group of Grizzlies here in Bozeman. And you know, the rivalry games are great. They're never better than when you win it at the other guy's place.